Day one, we got up, stopped off and got a breakfast burrito, which we did every morning for the rest of the weekend. Got to the con right around 9 o'clock. Luckily got into the first lot. As we got up to the line, our lady said, "Hold on one moment." And I'm a very joking person. I just jokingly said, "Unacceptable to run out of receipt paper." And she said, "You know what? You're right. Have a wonderful day." So we got free parking day one, score, super sweet lady, shout out. We proceeded to walk to the front of the con and see the line going to the back of the building. So we ended up following that line all the way to the back lot and wrapped around to the front. As we're walking back up to the front, we got to see Domo Cardigato and Mr. Snicklefritz. After the long walk, we got into the con, grabbed my badge, and then we proceeded to get lined up and stacked up like sardines. It seemed like they had it pretty organized at first of releasing people, and then it was just like everybody go. Right away, super overwhelming, everybody walking around, all the different booths. First Magicon, didn't know where to go, so we kind of just headed to the left to the Creator Central area, where we ran into Domo Cardigato again, and he gave us our Domo packs. Evan messaged Demi, and we met up for some games. We sat down, played one game, and then we had Jay from Elder Dragon Hooligans stop by and popped in for our game with us as well. While we were playing our game with Jay from Elder Dragon Hooligans, I feel a presence behind me, and I look to the back and I see my favorite author, Zach Hickok, aka Attempt to Cast, and another unfamiliar face, but they were looking at me like they knew who I was. After about 5 minutes, they said, "Hey, I like your commander," and realized it was my buddy Mana and Splinters. After our game with Jay, we went to the Goblin Grounds meet and greet, where we met up with other creators again, like Nuke MTG, and he gave us his little Magicon giveaway. We also ran into Mana and Mayhem and Wesley Chambers, and then we decided to go hit the vendor floor, which was absolute chaos. It was impossible to get into any lines. Everybody was shoulder to shoulder at every different vendor station. Luckily, Journey End Games, Cassius Marsh was making a deal, so there was a whole lot of room because he was making a video. And once he finished up his deal, I snuck in there and was able to grab some grails of mine and headed back to the office area and the merch line, and decided that the merch line was not worth standing in. So we decided to go back to the round table section in the vendor area, where we met up with Zach from Attempt to Cast, Carpools, their buddies from Alaska, Manadorks Union, and we're kind of just hanging out. And that's when I saw Pineapple and Pizza a little ways away, and I grabbed him and said, "What's up?" Took a picture. He grabbed me for a video. We introduced him to a bunch of people, kind of hung out there for a little bit until we decided that we were going to go get a Red Bull and meet up with Mythic Red and everybody. On the way there, we met up with T-Beard. Didn't introduce myself as Unexpected Results MTG, so he still will never know who I am, but shout out to you, T-Beard. Went to the tavern, met up with everybody and Mama Nita, and grabbed a Red Bull and headed back to the tables for some free play games, where we ran into Mana and Mayhem again and got some games in with Mana and Mayhem. After that, we decided that, you know, we had plans to go to Omniscience Games for a pre-release event, so we needed to go grab food before we headed out, so we left the con a little bit early. Went to Omniscience Games, had an awesome pre-release event, met some more awesome people there. They hooked us up with a free playmat for the event, as well as a pack per win. I also bought some goodies for myself while I was there. Couldn't help myself again. And then we headed back to the hotel and called it the end of the day one. Thanks guys for watching. We're almost at 1,500. So we're gonna do a little secret giveaway entry in this video. If you made it to the end, go ahead and drop a heart in the comment section, and we'll get you entered once we hit 1,500. Thanks guys.